medieval-themed chaos. So, I let my brother crash at my place during the pandemic, and for some reason in his mind, he thinks he now owns the place, and guess what? He's trying to evict me from my own house. Hi there. Really weird one here, but to cut a long story short, my brother moved in with me at the start of lockdown because he was living in hotels for some reason. I recently found this out because, well, he owes around 260,000 euros in debt to a multitude of small businesses for various reasons. A lot of these cases have gone to high court and he's being actively pursued by bailiffs. When he moved in, he was relatively normal, but vague about why he was living in hotels. Then, as lockdown went on, he started to get more and more obsessed with these freemen-on-the-land common law types, which has led to some major disputes, like saying he doesn't have to wear a mask because he's not subject of the crown, but the Cromwellian Lord Protectorship and trying to annex land from the fields behind our house, because apparently you can claim land by throwing a hatchet at four corners. Well, recently, the bailiffs somehow caught up with him, and they're pretty nice people, explained everything to me, but after he said he wouldn't pay a dime, even if he had all the money in cash, well, they took his car. Ever since this, my brother has been furious with me, so we started avoiding each other around the house. This week, I went away for a mini break on the coast and came back to find all the locks have been changed, and the windows boarded up. Garden furniture is nowhere to be seen. I called my brother, who basically explained as the house was unclaimed. He made a de facto eviction of me from the house, making him sole owner of it. If I attempted to make entry, he'd have every right to kill me, under the provision that, quote, Englishman's home is his castle. I'm staying with my parents, which isn't ideal, as they should be shielding, and I went on the mini break, but when I contacted the police, I was told as a tenant, he has every right to change the locks. So, I was dead confused. Any help is much appreciated, guys. By the way, I'm in England. Also very scared if more bailiffs come to the house, they'll seize my stuff thinking it's his. Alright everybody, Mr. Redito here. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're enjoying this story so far. Yeah, so this is a weird situation. However, there is an update for it. I'm not exactly understanding how the laws to evict work in England, but maybe if there's any English watchers and listeners, you could drop down a comment below. The next update came out just a little bit after the first one, so let's jump into update number 1. Hey everyone, for those of you who have been following my little saga story, got some great news. Back in the house, and otherwise everything's still here. I spent the whole day making sure, and nothing's been trashed, but there's tons of domino boxes in the kitchen. Apparently, he contacted the bank trying to access my accounts and spunked any money he had left on pizza and celebration. So now he's both homeless and broke. So, spoke with a solicitor who's my dad's one. He basically picked apart literally every bit of this common law bullcrap, and we called the police. Again, got stonewalled with a, tenants can change the lock, you need an eviction order. So, solicitor explained the situation about how he was a guest and evicted me. Response back was literally, I'm afraid there's nothing we can do. You need to take this up with the housing authority because it is a civil matter, not a criminal one. Well, solicitors basically said police aren't going to help us, so we can either go for a court order or try to get bailiffs now. Well, we went for the second as I needed them out ASAP, and they said this would be very easy. So, the bailiff turns up locksmith. I don't exactly know what happened as me and the solicitor were just waiting around the corner, but I do know police were called and he got carted away in handcuffs. I assume that'd be the end of it, but he's been contacting my parents saying he's the rightful heir of the house, and that he, quote, just needed some time to get back on his little feet. Well, they've basically disowned him as this so looks like he's kind of ducking himself. And I assume the police let him back on the street, so going to have to be wary, but I just hope he sods off. Honestly, huge thank you to everyone in your kind words. You've all been so amazingly helpful, and what was quite possibly the scariest moment of my life. has now turned into the funniest story I can tell my future children. Anyways, yeah, thanks again. Alright, so this story was completely all over the place. Like I said, I don't really know how eviction processes work in England, so if there's anybody from the United Kingdom or England or anywhere around that area, go ahead and drop a comment down below and let us know. What exactly is the eviction process? I'm assuming it's pretty similar to the United States, where you have to have eviction process, eviction papers, all that nonsense, really, to get somebody out of your house that doesn't even live there. But anyways, I understand it's considered a civil matter, so police don't get involved. Here's a comment. People like OP's brother only see the first part, the quote, right to kill me under the provision that an Englishman's home is his castle, just like throwing axes in corners would get him land. But turning it around on him, someone else will come and throw axes, or someone else has the right to kill him. And it's quote, that's not how any of this works, bro. So it seems like he was just not full of real information, and he was basically lying through his teeth. There's still one more story that we'll look at today, guys, and the title is this. Am I the a-hole for refusing to tell my husband the gender of our baby after he skipped going to the doctor appointment with me? Hey guys, my husband and I are expecting. This is our first baby and we're super excited. Thing is, he barely attends any doctor's appointments with me, and his excuses aren't even valid. He's willing to miss the doctor appointment over soccer games, or drinking, or a board game with his buddies. His response is always, I'm not the one carrying a baby, why do I have to go to the doctor with you? Last week, though, was my absolute final straw. He was supposed to come with me for the baby's gender reveal appointment, but he chose to not come last minute because his friend invited him to, quote, fish and chips food. I was pretty livid, but I didn't make a fuss about it. Mom went with me instead. He texted me asking to tell him the results, boy or girl, and, well, I refused to tell him. He kept on spam calling me, but I hung up every single time. He came home fuming, demanding I tell him the results, but I refused and bluntly told him, since he refused to attend the appointment, then he gets no results till after the baby's born, and said I was willing to die on this hill. He went off, calling me spiteful and immature for doing this and punishing him. He said he's the father and has a right to know. He then called me dramatic since I wasn't alone and Mom was with me. I said he gets no results, period. Well, he's been fuming about it and told his family, and they're now pressuring me to stop playing these mind games with him and just tell him, but hey, I declined. I need to know from you guys, am I the a-hole for refusing to tell my husband the gender of our baby after he skipped all the appointments? Hey guys, Mr. Reddito here. So that's all for this story. Let's drop a comment down below if you think OP is the a-hole. However, at the very end of this post, they decided to add a little edit to it. It does come with a small little update. It's only a couple sentences long, so here it is. So, first of all, wow, I did not expect this to blow up. Sorry, can't answer any comments because of feeling overwhelmed. I just wanted to mention that my husband just attempted to contact my doctor to get his hands on the results. It did not go well, and we had another argument over it. He couldn't get it since his mom was the one who made the phone call. Also, guys, Mr. Reddito here, this was noted in the comment section just how important this actual meeting was. To be clear, this is not a gender reveal appointment. It's a full anatomical scan in which they check every organ and limb for potential issues. And as a side note, can also often tell you which genitals baby will have. So partners not just skipping a gender reveal, but leaving their pregnant partner to attend a lengthy appointment on their own, during which they could possibly receive concerning information about the development of their baby. If there are issues, it's often during the scan that they're discovered. Partner is incredibly selfish in showing their true colors. Absolutely not the a-hole. Alright, so I'll agree with almost all the comments. This one was just ridiculous. One of the comments had me cracking up. LMAO, that's what it was for? That's what it was for? Fish and ducking chips? LOL. I'd be like, okay, bro, bye. So yeah, I kind of do agree with that. Imagine being laid up learning the news of your kid, while your significant other was out having beers and fish and chips, not having a care in the world. Just like one of the commenters said, what would have happened if there was something actually wrong with the child? It would be devastating and heartbreaking and stressful and anxiety-filled room, and the husband would be nowhere to be found. Guys, here's another comment. I anticipate it'll just make someone this immature to begin with, emotional and mental state spiral into further immaturity, and coping skills to match. I'd hate to bet on the beginning of the end, though I don't know them. Then the final comment replies to that one by saying, good, let him. Better go and get his honest self out in the open right now. Better to know he's a deadbeat now after a decade of miserable marriage. How he handles this really easy stuff right now is an excellent forewarning for how he'll be after the baby's born. This is only a bump in the road. She needs to know his emotional suspension will handle before they get utterly, totally tied down. So guys, do you agree with that? Is this just too many red flags popping off right now for this guy? Is he immature? I think I'm leaning towards my opinion, yeah. But let me know your thoughts, guys. If you don't agree with me, that's totally cool. Just drop your opinions below. We'll talk about them in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. I hope you enjoyed these two stories. And guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Remember, it's cool to be kind.